we're going to frame by frame look at this video. The setup is Miss Sonya Massey is at the kitchen sink and has a pot with her with pot holders or oven mitts or whatever they call them, right? And this Sean Grayson is in front of her. She says something to the deputy, it turns out, like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And this, he says, huh? What? You better not. I'm going to, swearing left and right, shoot you in the face. We'll remove all the swearing that he does. And there you see her right at the counter, with the sink and a pot, right? We can even zoom in. Can you zoom in doing this? Yeah. There she is, right there. And the noise and stuff. And you see she has pot holders, and it's hard to tell with all these artifacts in the background. I don't know what this is, but this looks like a pot and looks like she's holding it, right? Sometimes it looks better just by itself, right? So now we're going to go to the next one. I hope that's the next one. Right, and she's still there. And what you notice here is this man has just threatened to kill her, this Mr. Grayson, and he's getting a gun out. You see this over here. He's taken the gun and he's starting to point it at her. You'd be terrified. The next thing you know, there's the gun again. There it is. Obviously, it's not going to go away. He's going to bring it right to the front of his body, right? And here's his other hand going right to the gun, right? Think about it if you were in this situation. This is terrifying. The person has a pot in their kitchen, a tiny woman, and this man is pulling a gun on her and also threatened to kill her. So let's just keep going. There it is, doing all the whatever this. Maybe police officers like this should not have guns. This guy needs to be with violent criminals. He doesn't need to be going to people's houses for burglary or for, especially people that have called for help, right? And have called with a history of mental illness. It turns out that she had been, she requested help and then she didn't. Everyone knows you like to be in your own house, right? You don't want to be in a hospital of mental illness. And so now this is the ultimate threat. This man has, or let's call individual, has a gun pointed right at her. And of course the partner does the same thing, which, if the partner's not watching and your partner pulls out a gun, I can understand that you do something to support because you don't know what just happened. Anything could have happened and the partner was looking some other way. But this is terrifying, right? And she, at this point, says, sorry, and she's cowering behind because she probably has experience with this. And this is exactly 43 seconds after 1:20 a.m., the poor woman. And there she is, and she's releasing the pot. I don't know why the light changes a different color. I don't know why. Must be the camera itself does that, the body cam. But you can see very clearly she has the pot holders. You can see one hand here. I don't know where the other hand. Let's just see if it... Yeah, there. Both hands. It looks like these are pot holders in her hand, right? And one is grayish, one is reddish, right? And the next thing you know, she is saying sorry and going down. I couldn't do this before, but somebody on YouTube told me about this step by step. And actually it works with the arrow keys too. I didn't even know that. Oh, no, it doesn't work with the arrow keys. It's period and semicolon. And I took screenshots, and that's why I'm doing this, because it's jumping around a little bit. But as far as we can see, this person is ducking down. The pot is near the sink, Probably still has some water in it, and there's flowers in the house, and so there she is out of the picture. Now watch the counter. The key is to watch this counter right here, because you can tell that this man is right. He's going to be on the counter. So here he is stalking a person that asks for help. It's almost as if he's stalking the person, right? Especially a person that you already could see has, and the family even reported she has mental issues, right? Here he is coming around the counter. You couldn't move the angle like this unless he's coming around the counter, right? So he's approaching the kitchen. He's approaching the what he thinks is perceived harm. He's approaching that. So that's very critical. This person didn't have a gun, never threatened, meaning the Miss Massey never threatened him, never said anything except I reproach you in the name of Jesus. Maybe I am understanding this a little bit better now. This Sean Grayson interpreted that probably as, I'm going to kill you. Well, no one that understands words and understands the English language would say that I reproach you in the name of Jesus is, I'm going to kill you. Those are two different things. He's the one that said, I will shoot you in the face. That he's the one. So at this point, she should be, in my opinion, a reasonable person would feel threatened. The man has a gun pointed at him. The partner has a gun pointed at them. Mr. Grayson has already said he's going to shoot her, right? I would feel threatened with deadly force, right? So here he goes, right around the counter, right? And you could see her face right there. See, she's getting back up and she feels threatened with bodily harm, obviously deadly force. And a civil rights lawyer actually said that at this point, if she had a gun there, she would rightfully, in self-defense, be able to shoot. I don't know. That's what he said. But no one in their right mind would think that they could defend themselves with a pot of boiling water against two massive police officers holding 9mm handguns. But again, you could tell she asked for help. And so let's just see. You can see, there it is. There's the pot. She picked it back up, and she's got it over her shoulder, and it must be hot because and it looks like there's two pot holders. Maybe the one side of the pot holder is gray and the other side is red or something like that. And then in the end, she flips it, right? So I think at this point, he's going to fire because this is 47. This is where he's going to fire at her. And that seems outrageous. He approached her. She was no threat. No reasonable person would think that was a threat. The person was on the ground without a pot. Don't come at them. Back up. Back up. And then there's other YouTube videos that are just showing this little itty bitty clip and saying, oh, it was reasonable. That doesn't make any sense. You can't just plop something out of thin air and think that's the entire history. This person approached them. Approached this poor woman, right? And this is outrageous, 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 outrageous. And we'll see what happens. But you can see it looks like the pot is there, and she's turning towards, and then his arm blocks. But at this very second, maybe when it turned a little bit, and some water may have gotten on this chair here. I don't see how that can be a threat. All you have to do is back up. Back up. You have two men there. Call for backup. Call for EMT. Call for social worker. Do they even have the concept of social worker there? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of any of this stuff. I think that a prowler outside, the police should come look for prowler. Then, especially this woman who has called for mental help many, many times, these police or sergeants or whatever, the deputies, should have someone there that can handle mental and physical. Um, Here in other places, other cities, they they send the EMT too when there's a chance, when there's any chance. This seems should have had a social worker there or something. Anyway, peace out.